Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Check them all out so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. They are general readings. Use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. For your key to the week this week, you have the Devil card, right? So aside from all of the other meanings that we can have for the Devil card, one thing that I do want to say to you this week, I think you're going to become acutely aware of what you are holding on to that is no longer healthy. We cling to things. It is a part of the human condition. There is nothing wrong with that. But there comes a point where you realize, I myself as well, right? There are things, there are places, there are people, there are experiences that if you carry them, they, one, stop you taking on new, more positive memories, and two, they effectively, they'll twist you and they'll taint you. And so in all of these different areas of your life this week, it's possible that you could overdo it, absolutely, but more importantly, you are being asked, Tarot is kind of saying to you, in all of these areas of your life, there is something that does need to be released right now, okay? There is something that you are holding on to that is probably not healthy in some regard, and so it's obsolete. It's no longer a pleasurable experience, right? It's now become something else. For your actions and options, you've got the Justice card, right? So if you have any and all legal matters and proceedings that are going on in the background, one of the things that I want you to be really clear on here is when it comes to your when it comes to any and all contracts, legal matters and proceedings, especially for those of you that are going through the process of gaining some kind of compensation or anything like that. If that is the case, the Devil card is saying don't be greedy, right? Now, I know a lot of people will probably say, oh, well, you don't know the specifics or the ins and outs and all the rest of it. No, I don't. You're right. I don't know you, personally. I know a lot of you in the comments because, it's us, right? You part of the Radiant Nation. You know Rafi loves you and I know you guys got my back. Always, right? My Taurus subbies know I love them. We've got a really special bond, and I see you guys in the comments all the time, and it's wonderful. But what I'm saying here is, it's like, when people go to the casino and they're on the winning streak and they're like, I'm just going to stay on this winning streak, and then before you know it, everything that they've won, they end up losing. This might be one of those times where a contract matter, especially where things like compensation, it's like you're holding on, no, I want another offer, no, I want another offer. And eventually it's either going to collapse or they're going to say, this is where we're at, take it or leave it, right? So I just want to say, like, here in the UK, we've got this saying, we always say, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Now, this card is also, obviously, it's a card of commitment. And so in terms of the options that are available to you, there might be a contract of some sort that comes through. It could be for a job, it could be for finances, it could be for a relationship, a working partnership, whatever the case might be for you specifically. What you really need to know is that you should think twice about this contract. You may be expected to deliver far more than you realise at this moment in time. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Page of Swords. This and the Justice card, that's a time sequence. And so a lot of the conversations that you have around contracts, around possibly finances, we'll have to look when the other cards come out, but we're certainly around contractual matters right now. These are things that are going to go right the way through to, a lot of the conversations you have this week will go right the way through to October of 2024. So you need to ask yourself, are these things, places, people, situations that I want to be tied to for that long? When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academic academia, that Page of Swords, maybe there's, you know, this could be an application for extended funding. It could be that you're applying for the gap year. It could be that you are, you know, maybe you're asking for some additional support. You're likely to get it. But with this Devil card, I will say if it's financial, you might want to think about that, because it might end up having a much longer shelf life than you realise. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, it looks like you're wanting to fight for some kind of justice. Nothing wrong with that. This Devil card, though, ask yourself, is this because you've got a bee in your bonnet, or is it because this is something to do with the professional sphere, right? There are times where, and this is me as well, right? There are times where the ego will hoodwink you into believing that I'm doing this because it's the right thing, and the truth is that you just don't like the person that you're going to war with, whether that's directly or indirectly. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is one of those moments where you bow out gracefully. I'm not telling you not to fight. I'm not telling you to not do what you feel is right for you and for your business. But with this combination, it's the Devil card that's doing it, right? And I would say, like, this is one of those times where it may be a lot more powerful for you to say, you know what, I'm going to walk away from this gracefully, and I'm going to leave it at what it's been, right? Rather than kind of digging it up and because the thing is, Taurus is a very stubborn sign. I can say that. I've got a lot of fixed energy. Basically, my chart is fixed or cardinal. That's it. I have very little mutability in my chart, if any at all, actually. I'm just trying to remember. No, I basically have no mutability. So the mutability in my world, in my life, comes from the outside, from the external. I tend to attract a lot of mutable signs, and they tend to be the people that give me the, hey, hard head. You know, have you thought about this, and this, right? I'm a bulldozer. Fuck it, I'll just get it done. Excuse me. So yes. Now, for those of you that are retired and no longer working, this looks to me like a lot of you are getting your paperwork in order, you know, doing all of the unsexy, the sometimes morbid stuff. But that Devil card, I will say, if for those of you who are about to cut someone out of their will because A, B, and C reason, you'll end up changing it back. All right. So if you're about to cut out a family member, a brother, a sibling, a cousin, a child, or whatever, at the moment you're mad, all right, and you're angry. You have a right to your feelings, but I tell you, you'll end up undoing it, and those processes can be quite costly. So save yourself the money, take a few breaths, step away from it, and continue. All right. For your love and relations, you've got the Four of Swords. Oh, you frosty bitches. For those of you that are single, I kind of feel like a lot of you are like, listen, I am not ready. I am not interested in love or partnership at this moment in time. You will be. Not right now, because there's something that you need to observe about relationships and commitments, and where maybe you feel like you were slighted in a commitment in some way. And I always tell this story. I dated a Taurus man, and I mean, there was an age gap, so there was that, but I didn't realise because I'm quite theatrical and quite dramatic, and one day I kind of really went off on him. And I was very young at the time, so I have to cut myself some slack now. But yeah, I always think back to, like, if I'd been a bit more like I am now in that relationship, I think I probably would still be, you know, we'd probably still be together. But alas, it was not to be. The reason I'm telling you this story is, if you're single and a Taurus at the moment, or whatever Taurus placement you're watching for, you might be holding to this never again, right? And we've all been there. But on the other side of it, soon enough, as we get into summer and the months beyond, I think you will start to open up. The heart will thaw out, all right? For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, I will say it does look like some of you may want or need to take a break. And I think that's what this argument, well, not argument, but this is about, to be honest with you. There's something in the commitment that it's like you are refusing to budge. You're being a Taurus, as you know, it is what it is. but I'd be interested to see how this kind of plays out. And then when it comes to money and materials, yeah, look at that. So it is likely to be financial. It could be that one of you is constantly bailing the kids out financially, right? And it's starting to take its toll and its strain. And, you know, you're saying, look, we need to stop doing this. We're not giving them a good example. We're not, you know, whatever the case might be. So it's like you want to do one thing and your partner wants to do something else. And it does feel like that. It could even just be a family member. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of your children. But there's something here where a partner is like, no, you know, you're in a disagreement about something and it's financial. And it's having it's putting a strain on the commitment. Now, that Three of Pentacles for money is actually very good because it means that the skills that you already have are highly marketable or you could make money from. The Devil card means to me with the Three of Pentacles, it's like for you, it's like, well, I would have to do that as a job to make money from that. When the truth is you could actually just do it as a side hustle. It's like you're not seeing how else you can apply the skills that you have in order to make money, right? You've got to broaden your scope this week, my dear Taurus friends. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, Three of Pentacles, especially with the Devil card, honey, you better go and get those knees looked at, okay? Like you need to be out here getting your knees looked at. I mean, like seriously, get them looked at. It's not to say that they're suddenly going to give way on you, but with this much energy such as this, you need to get your knees taken care of. Now, because you've got the Page of Swords, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are waiting on, like when you get a letter from the doctor to say we need to do a minor surgery, or what do they call it? The pinhole surgery, where they look into your knee to see kind of what's going on in there. A lot of you, a percentage of you, it looks like your knees need some support. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, the Three of Pentacles, it's almost like saying to me that you're shutting yourself away because you've been given information or someone said something to you that you don't like. And it's honestly, this kind of energy will make you a recluse. Nip that in the bud now, right? I can tell you as somebody who allowed something similar to this stop them from going out for a very long time. Don't do it. All right, snap it in the bud now. All right, just find a way to get it done. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a wonderful week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care. I'll see you soon.